Welcome to Once Human, an open world survival builder crafter game where I would usually survive for 100 days. But to make the odds even harder, I have set out with the goal to do it all in 50 days. I will be beating every boss, Rift Anchor, Silos on Pro mode, and do everything the game has to offer in half the time I usually would. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
You get buzz cuts. You get no eyeliner. You get cool pupils. Ooh, look at these. Ooh, look at that. I could be down for something like some Warpath stuff. Yeah, that's the one. There we go. That's the one.
After finishing the character selection, it was finally time to get into the game, so we had to get through a little bit of introduction to the game to learn some movement and learn how to fight these deviants slash zombies slash alien, whatever we want to call them. So after doing all of that, we meet this little girl, which is a big part of this story because we are doing certain tasks for this person to help them free something magnificent in the world. Apparently, that's what the story tells us at the very least. And once that is all good, we get introduced to the first boss fight of the game, but it is a lower health one, just so you get an idea of how big the monsters in this game can actually be. Once the introduction has all be finished, we get dropped in like this is straight out of a Fortnite lobby into the survival game. Now, I did beat the game once during the beta, but they have added new things since then. So loading into the game, I had one goal in mind, and that was to kill a bunch of zombies or aliens. We're gonna call them zombies throughout this video though, as well as getting some loot. If you look in the top left corner of the screen, you can also see that there are tasks the game wants me to fulfill to simply get me into the game. So I'll be doing all of those slowly but surely to simply get into the game. After making it to the first camp of the game, I checked my mail and got some free resources and then went outside to build my first house. This would just be a temporary house though, where I would use the game's preset build to store away loot until later into the game where I'll be building my own custom house.
Like a cute little humble abode, you know? Nothing crazy. Just break like 4 trees and we can basically build it.
Now, as I tried to build my house, I didn't realize I didn't have enough resources. So I had to go in a little forest right across the road and start to get a bunch of wood. So after getting all the wood necessary and needed, I started building my entire house, but I couldn't make windows, etc. before I found glass, which we wouldn't get just yet. I had to make a disassembly bench, which is used for recycling items found in the world into resources used to make higher tier items, as well as a furnace which is used to cook specific resources to make anything from weapons to bullets and etc. Now, before the sun goes down on day 1, I had a goal which was to go to the Monolith Ruin to search for supplies like the game wanted me to do. This was just going to be some basic resources, but hey, nonetheless, resources are resources. Maybe I can find a pair of paints. I need them. I'm gold. After unfortunately not managing to find myself a pair of paints, I did find this person called Mary though on the other hand, who would be telling me more about the world and telling me that I had to go do something for them, and they wanted me to go to a specific location, so we would be heading there very soon. After making it back to my base, it was finally time to make myself a weapon, so I wanted to make myself a double barrel shotgun, and then I needed to make some bullets. After doing this, I went to the first Rift Anchor around the map. In order to do boss fights and other things in the game, you have to activate all the Rift Anchors, and all the Rift Anchors will give you a Mystic crate and weapon and gear crates, which will give you good weapons and armor. So I wanted to do the first one, but we ran into some issues while we were here as well.
Oh, we can use the Deviant for this too. No, I can't. Liar, I don't have a Deviant. I don't have a cage for it yet. You're lying. Y'all didn't tell me to put on a deviation cage yet. Game straight up lying.
Now, what I'm talking about here is a deviant, things that can be found around in the map and used for fighting and base organizing and whatnot. I'll get back into that in the close future.
Now it should work. There we go. No slacking on Rift Anchors throughout the entire playthrough. You get what I'm saying? Like, every box will be found. We're not allowed to leave until we have every box in sight. Well, now the game just wants us to loot Rift Anchors. Because like next step in the game is obviously boss fights.
With the introduction missions being completed now and taking a look at my map, I quickly realized that the next goal the game wanted me to do was to simply clear out rift anchors, and all the blue little dots on the map are obviously only side missions, which we are not going to worry about. There are millions of them. Clearing out all the rift anchors in one region will give you a boss fight in that region before you beat the boss fight and go to the next region. Rinse and repeat. But there is a lot of more things that is in between that, which we'll get to eventually. But for now, we are going to start doing all these rift anchors and try to get as much loot as we possibly can. Guys, the sun hasn't been shining once today since we started playing. It's been dark and gloomy the entire day. That's a W. That's W loot right there. Ooh, we just got a whole ass light machine gun just like that. Not even the blueprint for it. We just got like a whole ass LMG. Yeah, you're dead. A lot of ammo, like a lot of ammo. And out of this last box, we got something called blast suit fragments, which are fragments that you need to find X amount of items out of. And once you get the whole set, you'll be able to craft that specific. And armor has specific buffs and debuffs on them, but that is also something I'll get back to in a little bit. After doing this rift anchor, I headed over to another area for another rift anchor to try to get more loot, but this time I would be running into someone a little unexpected. Actually, you're not that hard to kill. Give me your ankles. Give me your ankles. But hey, we got the mythic. Ooh, camping knife. Look at that, bro. Just chilling. Yeah, we got a whole ass AK. At the morning of day 2, I took a look at the game's journey where you have a number of things you have to do to fulfill it. These were all tasks that I planned on 100%ing before finishing this playthrough. And while I was out exploring, about to do another rift, I managed to find a Bussy B deviant, which is good for plant growing later in the game, as well as a weapon box with another SMG amongst other useful items, and the Mystic Crate had another blast suit fragment which would come useful soon. I then went to one of the last rifts within this region, but unfortunately we ran into some issues.
It's kind of sad shooting an AK that does 50 damage per shot. Hey, this spot gives W ingots though. That's pretty cool. Ooh, wall vines. Cool. Is there a basement to this? Oh. I thought it would be a basement, but I guess not. MP5 blueprints. Anything else in here? That. Level 11. All done indeed. Now I just gotta activate the teleporter. Now all around the map there are teleporters, as you can see on my screen right now, which makes me able to teleport to and from my base and all around the map, so it's easily to get around the map. There is a very big map in this game, so having a teleporter will come in handy. I then headed over to the last rift anchor of the first region and was about to open up this weapon crate, but little did I know that was not what I was planning on doing after all. Spawn a monster here. Yeah, there he is. Can I even kill you right now? Hey, bro, you are massive. You're like so big. Did you bug out or what? Better give me some W loots. Yes, a kettle. W kettle.
After dealing with this long-legged man, I found the last Mystic Crate of this area, which gave me the last set for the blast suit armor. I then went back to base to gear up, and it was time to head deeper into the game. In the early mornings of day 3, I started my day by farming a bunch of resources to be able to make more bullets and everything else needed. It was then time to jump on my motorbike and meet up with Mary and listen to what she had to say. Basically, she told me I had to go into the boss arena and deal with the monster inside. So we headed on inside to deal with the first boss fight in the game.
Guys, thoughts on me doing this on pro mode with level 1 gear? I'm fucking joking, by the way. Thinking I'm gonna do that shit on pro mode with tier 1 armor? Nah. Why angry, boss? I can't drop the gun. I'm trying to drop the gun so I can like roll. Gimme. Pick it up. What the hell? Shit on. And after beating the first boss with ease, considering the fact that it is a very easy boss, it just takes a lot of bullets because my weapons are pretty bad. We grabbed the festering gel, which is another deviant that we might be using later, as well as an MP7 that we got out of the actual loot from it, as well as some other mandatory loot. It was then time to head home and depot all of the loot and continue on. First thing I did when I got home was to finally place an isolated securement unit, which is where I placed deviants. I chose to use the butterfly emissary at first, which is a pretty good early game fighter and can fight alongside you. And with that boss fight being dealt with, that opened up the next region on the map, so I jumped on my motorcycle and started driving towards it. But before making it there, I ran into a flame essence deviant, which boosts the quickness of furnaces. So that was obviously a good thing to find. I then ran into more NPCs at the new region explaining their situation, as well as finding another deviant called the Login Beaver, which is a bear that can farm wood for you. I then relocated my base to this region, as we most likely wouldn't be spending a lot of time in the starting region anytime more, as well as placing more deviant cages to be able to use all the deviants I have found so far. With it being a new region, we also now have access to higher tier resources usually, so before getting back into the action, I farmed a bunch of tin ore around the area, which is a higher tier ore used for making better ammo and whatnot. And on the early mornings of day 4, I was back to doing rift anchors to get better gear and weapons. In this weapon crate, I found some ammo and other mods for my weapons. It was then time to meet the balloon man who hangs around in this area. What is that thing you're doing right now? I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I've literally never seen you do that. I have never seen this in my life. Bro, just die. You're like actually a quarter health. Jesus Christ. After clearing out that anchor, I find myself in a bunker looking for clues left by Brianna, but quickly found myself in an illusion, and while I got into this illusion, I had to fight a bunch of tree stumps to manage to get to the next region. Once I made it towards the end, I ran into something called a tree ant doppelganger, which makes me assume that this is the same as earlier, giving us a preview of what the next boss fight will look like. You just gotta guess where the hitbox is. Like it sits like kinda... Ow, 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 ow. God damn, take some grenades. The shiny thing right there, that's what we want to hit. Those grenades actually did a lot of damage. Like, I never really used grenades and stuff. But those grenades actually did so much.
Once we left that area, we were back to doing rift anchors. My first box gave me scout set armor frags, which was the armor fragments of this region, as well as a gear crate that gave me more weapon mods, and after that I headed towards the next area. Took me to these ruins where we ran into our first enemy NPCs, and I wonder what they were guarding. After clearing them all out one by one though, we made our way back to the magic box, and inside of the box I found a sniper rifle blueprint, and foreshadowing, it'll be very fun to use very soon. All I had to do now was to deal with this big Thanos looking guy, and I would be on my way.
Like, look at that, bro. We just killed the, like, heavy. And, like, we're not even high level. So, like, he's not supposed to be that easy to kill, kinda. Obviously, unless you're using bad guns. We're obviously using a very good gun, so it makes sense. But, like, even that guy was, like, easy to kill.
While clearing out this next rift anchor, which is basically the way you progress in the game, I ran into a side quest which I finally wanted to try and do. It redirected me into a little room with a clown who asked me to shoot either me or him, but before making a decision, I walked around the room looking for clues, which guided me through this door, which led me to a clone of the clown standing on a machine, so I had to deal with him accordingly. I clicked on the machine and went back to the clown to accept this offer, which I guess means I did it correctly. With all of that being done, I was back home farming resources, and after running quests and Rift, I also needed to maintain my own resources to make more bullets. And I obviously plan on building a masterpiece later in this adventure, so for that as well, I will need a lot of resources. I also spent some time upgrading, swapping, and calibrating my armor sets, and I wasn't going to spend too many credits on this early game, but I was planning on doing a boss fight soon, so it wouldn't hurt making it a little better. So I made myself some tier 2 armor and calibrated it as much as I could before heading over to the arena to try and beat the next boss.
Make sure our health levels are good. Drink an energy drink. I mean, a beer to fix our sanity. Get off me. Go away. Damn, you're annoying. Okay, well, here goes boss fights. Stand still to make sure we get the buff. Look at that. 3,000 damage. Oh my god, what? Where the hell did y'all come from? Ow. Go away, Aim Labs. Yeah, 40 seconds to kill it, or we gotta kill more of those things. $29 seconds. Boom. Harvest seed. And shotgun. I can't scroll. Crit boost, flame.
Starting off on day 6, I was driving
towards the next
region. Let me go back
again.
and look for
Now
clues.
I am running through these regions quite fast, but that's because of how this game is set up. It's to basically
have no
finish
idea where
rift
it is,
anchors,
guys.
explore a
Let's
new
go here.
region, beat a boss,
We
and
need
then
to find
repeat.
clues.
As well as having other cool items and cool ways to play the game that we will get into in later in this video, but those things really only get fun when we get into the future. But once I had gotten into the new region, I started off by farming iron ore, which is yet again a better resource that's found in this specific region,
anything good to
opening up
drink?
more blueprints that I can make later on. And before
have
day 6
unlocked
came to
what
an
I need
end, I
now
checked
to
in on my
make what I
journey
want.
to redeem my free money and XP before going to bed for this day. In the early mornings of day 7, I found myself outside of an old hospital, so I cleared my way
Spiders in
through
here.
it, leaving a trail of bodies behind.
And before you knew it, I found myself on the roof where I found this Rift mystical crate.
When you
join,
when you click on the server, it'll tell you
once I had gotten to the bottom of the parking lot
that goes
of
by
the
the add a
hospital,
new
I
server.
found this weird source of power, which was
Like,
another
yeah,
Rift
I
anchor
guess
that
for
would get me
PvP
to the
servers,
next
it would
double
make more
ganger.
sense.
This time
Good
appeared to
players
be a
will be
massive
fully
spider,
progressed
showing me
after
that
2
this
days
is who I will
anyways.
be fighting next as
Know
a
what I
boss
mean?
fight. This one was a lot scarier
Like, no
than the
matter
last
if there's
one,
a
though.
wipe. Okay, can you show me your balls? Ayo. Sus. Ow. Show me your balls.
Before you knew it, he had been dealt with, and I did some push-ups to show some dominance.
We're gonna start doing
Now,
push-ups
I
every
was
time we
excited
kill
for
a
this
boss,
boss
by the way.
fight, as it
Every
looked
time
like
we
this
kill
one
a
would
boss,
be a
we're
lot
doing
more
push-ups on
difficult
it.
than all of my previous ones.
Get shit on
So
us
I
a lot.
wasted no time getting these Rift Anchors done, finding some extended mags, armor mods, as well as a really good melee weapon. And once I made it back to the camp, I spent some of my in-game points
Or
that you get by playing
it's
the
either
game
we
to
get
buy a weapon
this
blueprint.
SMG
I chose to buy the
MP5
MP5 because I like the stats and simply I think it would be a
too
good
late.
weapon.
You said
Now this would be a weapon that I planned on using a lot going forward. And as you can see right here, this weapon was really good, and I managed to clear out Rift Anchors a lot
Damn,
easier
Thanos,
now.
really.
I opened another weapon crate and got more resources, and as you can
around
see, the
town.
higher regions I loot in, the better loot I'm going to get. And before the day came to an end, I
I'm a
activated
pro,
another
what do you mean?
teleporter before going to sleep.
Once
Once I made it home on day 8, I decided to yet again swap on my armor. This time making a tier 3 armor set called the Agent.
there is
As
a
you can
chance
see,
we
by
actually gotta
making
go kill
multiple
some
armor
animals.
pieces of the
I guess
same
we'll try,
clothing,
though.
I'll get certain buffs like headshot damage, weak
Agent.
spot damage, and more.
Yeah, I did
so
it
I
twice
chose
during
this
beta,
armor set
and
as
I've
it was
done
the
it
best that I
twice when the
currently
game came
had.
out, and
I
this
then
is my
flew off the
fifth
teleporter and straight
playthrough.
down until the boss fight to see what this spider had to say. Time to kill this spider. Time to kill this spider.
Hello there. Don't you do that to me. Don't stop that. Stop that at once. Hey, you're gonna be immune, huh? Are you gonna lay an egg too or what? No eggs. And now you're gonna spawn a bunch of eggs. Give me the eggs. Give me the eggs. Show me the eggs. Oh, stop that. Stop that at once too. Ow, no, I missed my dodge. He just doesn't know it yet. Bruh. This is how we're gonna end it? Getting caught in the web? Give me the Dreamcatcher. Did I get it? Yeah, I guess. What you got for me then, boss? What you got? What you got? What you got? Little dagger. 18 electronics. Is the dagger a W or nah? It is. Kind of cool.
After making it back home, I jumped on my motorcycle and started driving towards the next region called Tall Grass Inn. Once I had gotten there, I had to speak to a person called Clear and do a little bit of yapping before being told where to go next. I then relocated my base yet again outside of this camp, as this is where I would be spending the next following days before heading to the last region of the map where I would be building my own custom base. It was then time to get back to working the Rift Anchors of this region, and I ended up in a place with men who got in my way, but per usual, they weren't going to stop me from getting my loot. And before you knew it, I found the mystical crate of this area, which would give me one of the best sniper fragments in the game, and something that I would 100% be using later on. The game then sent me towards a dark, scary basement to investigate information about the next boss fight, so we obviously entered and went deeper inside. Before we got to the demonic altar, we found a weapon crate which gave us a rare Glock as well as some other items. I then headed inside of the rift and had to battle it out with the doppelganger of the next boss fight, which was in the form of a massive wolf.
Trying to figure out his weak spots. I just don't think he has any weak spots. Not that I can see, at least. I don't think he has any weak spots. That was easy enough. That's obviously nowhere near what the actual boss fight is, but because the actual boss fight is obviously
After dealing with the doppelganger, I jumped back on my motorcycle and went to do another rift anchor out in the field. After finding the weapon crate, I ended up getting some basic resources, but then again, all resources are good resources. And the Mystic Crate would have heavy duty armor fragments, which is one of the better armors in the game. And before day 9 came to an end, I spent some resources on upgrading my motorcycle to making it both faster and having a bigger fuel tank. In the early mornings of day 10, I went on a joyride with my newly upgraded bike heading towards more rift anchors. Once I got to one, I ran into an elite enemy, which is basically just stronger enemies, but with my strong MP5 it wouldn't be too much of an issue. The gear crate of this area gave me some good rare mods, and the Mystic Crate gave me a light machine gun fragment. And while heading to the camp outside of the city, I ran into an elite boss I hadn't fought before, which would end up giving me quite some trouble.
you don't die, huh? Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. I didn't know I was doing boss fight right now. Can you go away? Nah, that's toxic. Jesus. Hold my bullets, bro.
After spending more bullets killing a normal elite boss than I did the last boss fight, I went looking for the Mystic Crate, but didn't get very far before running into another elite boss, but this one died a lot easier than the last one. And not long after, I found the last piece of heavy armor fragment, so I would be able to use that in the near future. I ended the day by activating yet another teleport tower, as well as recycling a lot of items for a lot of resources I could now use for gears and weapons, as well as unlocking the entire heavy armor sets. I also added some overrides to my character, which is basically small buffs you can add to make certain weapon types do more damage. Once day 11 came around, I spent some time calibrating my armor set, preparing myself for the next boss fight that we would be doing today. And before you knew it, I found myself standing in front of the next boss, ready for some action.
Alright, I got my buffs. Come on, buddy. Time for us to have some fun, little dog. Ooh. I teleported way too early. That hurts. Can we not do that again? Bro, You downed me in the teleporter. Makes no sense. Stop that. Uh-oh. Yeah, I ain't got the guns to deal with that. I'm gonna get knocked here.
Basically, when the boss does this attack, you have to damage him and knock him over before he finishes the roll, or else it just simply knocks you over and you have to revive yourself. You only have a limited amount of revives as well.
Okay, yet another just won't let me teleport in time. Can't do it too early, can't do it too late, can't do it at the perfect time. No, that one was just unlucky. That's on me. I'll take that one. That one I'll take on the chin. Ow. 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 Holy shit, bro. This gun's so ass. I don't know why we went for an MP7. I regret going for an SMG so bad right now. Oh, I'm dead here. Yeah, GG. I don't have anything to fight it. Like, I physically... My guns are too weak. We need to get this. We need to get a scar or something, bro. Like, now, preferably. Whose idea was it to use SMGs? Give me the dogs. Yippee. Now we got the dogs. Those are fun. And boom. A little bit of stardust. A little bit of gear. Starting off on day 12, I finally got to the last region of the map and quickly located a moving crate, which gives you a lot of stardust, which is highly used for upgrading weapons and gear, and therefore very important. All these crates will give you 120 stardust. We will be farming these actively moving forward. I then made it to a place called Blackfell, which is the last camp of the game, and had to make my introductions to the people around to be able to make my new missions in the game. I then farmed a good amount of tungsten around the area, which is the highest tier resource in the game and only found in this region. I would be able to make the strongest weapons as well as the best ammo type with this resource. Before the day came to an end, I spent some time killing and farming animals, both to be able to make better food recipes as well as getting leather to make higher tier armor now that we had access to tungsten. I went back to Blackfell afterwards and ended up killing a TV looking thing called the weather forecast, and next to it I found a mystic crate which had another armor set called the Falcon set, which is basically the armor set I'll be getting from this specific region. Before the day ended, I found this weapon attachment box which gave me a muzzle brake for assault rifles. I then pet my way too massive cat before going to sleep, and I really do wonder what they'd be feeding this cat. In the early mornings of day 13, I found myself in a military facility looking for more mystic crates as well as activating more rift anchors around the map. I found a weapon crate who had both weapon mods as well as a deviant who looks like a samurai. Next to it was the mystic crate which had more falcon armor. Further into the day, I decided to go on a nice joyride around in the desert and truly just breathe in how beautiful the sceneries of this game truly is. And I ended the day off by farming both more resources as well as wood, as I had plans of building a proper base really soon. I just realized that I stopped recording after we opened Valorant, so I haven't recorded any of the building stuff. So we're just gonna... So long story short, I took a break from Once Human to go play Valorant and obviously stopped recording to not fill up my disc even more than recording 100 days already does. And by the time I came back on Once Human and built an entire base, I forgot to actually start recording. So these recordings took days in between day 14 and day 20, so 6 days with me just farming resources and building this base. So because I made this mistake, we are going to build a new base in just a couple of days because I want to show you guys how the building mechanism of the game works. But this is, I guess, our first custom base, and then like I just said, do not get off the video just yet. I will be building a proper, bigger and new base later on in the video just to make up for this fault on my side. And then we got a kitchen, missing a lot of things here, but we got a dining table. Upstairs is very empty, obviously, you guys know that.
We got the deviants though, hanging out by the aquariums. And a nice little balcony. But there's a lot that needs to be done. Many things that needs to be done. Many things needs to be done. In the early mornings of day 21, I decided it was finally time to start doing some silos. Silos are basically a high-risk, high-reward event you can do around the map where each region silo has a different difficulty. And inside there are one normal boss and one deviant boss who has a small chance of giving you a deviant from defeating it. So first we have to clean our way through the entire silo, taking out everyone who stood in my way, until I got to the playroom where I have to take out a bunch of zombies in waves until the actual deviated monster spawns. And once the monster had been dealt with, it was time to move on for the actual boss called Captain Dave II. Because this is the first silo in the lower end region though, I'm keeping it fairly short because dealing with this guy isn't that much of an issue because it's a low end boss, but we will be doing very hard ones later on. Now back to finally building a proper base. In the mornings of day 22, I decided to rip down my entire base as I didn't like how I didn't record it earlier. So first I had to remove every part of my base as well as moving everything out of the way in a foundation while I figure out what I want to build. I chose to set it up as a bigger base where I would have plenty of room as well as adding circles on all 4 sides so I could make it look like a castle. The goal would be to have 2 balconies on the first floor as well as 2 entrances, and on all 4 sides of the cubes I would have staircases leading up and down. On the second floor I ended up with windows between all of the staircases, making room for light to shine in during the day as well as staircases going further up. The second floor is where I would be placing workbenches as well as all of my boxes for my loot. And this is what the base looks like right now, but there's still a lot to do. I started by putting down my advanced workbench and my gear bench in front of this window, as well as putting down a synthetic bench and a disassembly bench right here. I then built a cool looking area for my boxes where I would be able to stack them on top of each other by making more room for organizing my boxes properly. On the third floor, I placed a nicer looking bed that I bought in the shop, as well as some nightstands to make it look more interesting in front of the window shining through, waking me up in the mornings. And across from my bedroom, I placed out the kitchen set, compost bin, fridge, and some flower pots, which is where I would be making all of my food, as food in Once Human has specific food buffs, as well as making sure my food wouldn't rot by having the fridge here. On the first floor, once that I entered the base, I set up a nice looking table with a chandelier above it to make the entrance to my home look a lot more welcoming. And to finish off my second floor, I placed a sofa with a table, flowers, and a clock above them where I could relax while crafting new gear. Once I had gotten to the roof though, I started by adding railings all around, making it look real nice, as well as finishing off the domes on all the corners, making it look like a castle. And on all 4 sides, I would be placing planter boxes with sprinklers and other accessory where I could grow my own plants. I then placed down a few biofuel generators on the first floor of the base to power up everything which needs power. I personally found that biogenerators are being the most efficient in the game, at least in my opinion. Once that was all good, I placed down my deviant cages that I had room for, putting all of the best deviants to work. And to finish it off for now, I placed some light posts outside of my base, making it light up a lot more, as well as having plenty of room out there to build my outside garage later on. And that would be it for building right now, but we are not entirely finished just yet. Now this took me a lot of days to get to this point of the base, because in between the building that I have shown you guys, I had to go farm more resources, etc, etc. But I am very satisfied with what it looks so far, but let's get back to work. For the next few days, I would be farming a bunch of resources, all in preparation for doing every single silo as well as the final boss, which by the way is a lot more difficult compared to any of the other bosses in the game. You could basically put them all together and they would still not be as strong as the final boss. So I went and farmed ore after ore after ore, as well as making some good food inside of the kitchen. And once I ran out of resources to make high tier food, I went and farmed a bunch of meat, which is what I was missing to make even more food. And then it was back to farming ore after ore after ore. And I also put a lot of time into fishing, as it was one of the journeys that I wanted to finish, as I was planning on doing all of them. But the biggest reason I went fishing at this time is because by fishing there's a small chance of getting a deviant called the electric eel, which main purpose is to boost the energy output of power sources, and that would benefit me to have more power for more items. And to end off day 33, I found another moving box, which I took out, and it ended up giving me yet another 120 stardust, which is very useful. And in the early mornings of day 34, I was out finding more and more moving crates as I really needed Stardust to make my weapons better. And not long after, I found another one, and another one, as well as ending the day by setting up some garden light for my plants, making it more efficient with growing rates. Once day 36 came around, I wanted to go back to doing silos, but from here on out, I would be doing them on pro mode only, which basically means all the deviants would have more health, more elites, as well as the bosses being a lot harder to take out. So we started with doing Silo Fi. And before you knew it, I found myself in a dark room fighting another Mother of Life, the same one that we spent over 2,000 bullets on earlier. But once you take out the Mother of Life and head through this portal, there's a chance of a deviant spawning inside, and because it didn't for me, there was only one thing to do, and that was to do it again and again and again until they finally gave me the tier 3 Pyro Dino, which is one of the best fighting deviants in the game, at least so I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. As well as a bunch of resources, and once this had been dealt with, it was time to finally deal with the final boss of this silo.
And we're just on fire again. Just why not? Oh, hello there. Yeah. Cool dog. Does he heal up or not? Okay. Can we stop jumping into the fire? It's like impossible to hit his crit spots, low-key. Bro, go away. Thank you, bro.
As you can see, it's getting a lot more hectic now with more world spawns, as well as the bosses just simply having more health. I also forgot to show it earlier, I didn't realize until now, but I also upgraded my weapon onto a Scar because the MP5 simply wasn't doing enough damage, as well as certain assault rifles having elemental damage. My Scar had electric shock, so if you look every time I shoot them, there's a small chance of doing the same damage that my bullet does with electrical damage, which basically just gives more damage. So after looting up all of these storage crates, it was time to go back home. Once I made it back home on day 38, I made myself 10,000 tungsten bullets, which is the best bullet type in the game. It's also why I farmed so much earlier. Then it was time to do one of the hardest silos in the game, at least that's in my opinion, and I would obviously be doing it on pro mode, so we headed inside of X1. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have played the game, which silo you think is the hardest. And per usual, I had to clear my way through a handful of deviants, as well as taking out another elite deviant, and quickly I found myself jumping through a portal door, which led me to a silo boss that I was not looking forward to fighting.
Tell me how to do it without dying. Am I good? I'm good. For now. Alright, let's hope we're good. I'm just gonna take it slow. Just gonna do that power attack now. We're just gonna take it slow. I think we got the tech unlocked. I think we got it unlocked, guys. Obviously, as long as we don't start fucking it up now. But like, so far, we're doing very good here. He literally doesn't have a health bar. Done. And we got the deviants. W. means we never have to go back here. In our whole life, we never have to go back here. Boom. And we got... Ooh, that was really fun, actually. And another 200 Stardust. After dealing with this silo, it was time to do one of the silos in the higher tier region. And we were obviously going to do it on pro mode. So without hesitation, we headed into Silo Theta and got to work. So yet again, I found myself clearing out a bunch of normal and elite deviants before I found myself in an upside down mirror room where I had to rotate statues in the right position to be able to spawn the boss fight. So after figuring it out, it was time to fight the deviant boss. Well, you got a lot of fucking health, I'll give you that. You gotta just let this guy blow up. And deal with these guys. Holy fuck. It spawned a lot of flies. What do you mean by that? Yeah, that's crazy. I just gotta try to kill... Yeah, nah, you're fucked. That's fucked. That's fucked. Did he heal? Oh, these guys are healing him. I forgot to kill those guys early because they heal him. Don't. And yet again, after a good fight against the boss, I was lucky enough to get the deviant first try, and believe it or not, these are usually not this easy to acquire, as it can take quite a few attempts of actually getting them. But once he was dealt with, it was time to deal with the second boss that's hidden within the surface, so after making my way to him, it was time to fight him, and this one would be quite difficult though. Well... that is unfortunate. All right, come on, big boy. Time to work. That's a very unfortunate timing. Oh my, I'm stuck. I need you to go immune. There we go. All right, we managed to do it. Now it's just the rest of the pain left. I'm dead. I'm dead. I just died. Bro, they throw so far. Alright, so now we can't go that way. Because that's where the birds are. Or flies, whatever you want to call them. That's kind of a worse spawn than last time. I need you to back up, bro. There we go. There you go. A little bit of armor and we're good. Everything's better when you have armor. Ooh, that's a cool knife. It's a really cool knife.
It's like a machete. It's really cool, actually. On day 40, we found ourselves standing outside of the last silo, but before heading inside, I saw a vending machine outside of it that was selling a lot of beers for the cheap. And beers are good for keeping your sanity leveled, as well as getting slightly better stamina. So basically the opposite of what it'll do in real life. And once we had gotten inside, it was just the regular, take out a bunch of people, but this time being military instead of deviant. So one after the other they fell over until we got to the actual deviant boss. But this boss is probably the most boring one in the game, so I will keep it fairly short. Long story short though, you are fighting a massive fridge and you simply dump thousands of bullets into it, as well as now and then having to break a few generators, but before you knew it, the fridge fell over and we were done, ending up with getting the last deviant out of it, as well as some free loot. Boom, boom, boom. And we got the snow globe. Boom. And we got some loots. Drink, gotcha. Ooh. It's definitely like, it's not as good as my sniper right now. Yeah, it's like it's the same sniper but the gold version, but it does like basically no damage compared to mine because mine's like calibrated to level 9. On day 41, I found myself in an area that spawns a lot of Stardust ore, which I could use at home to make acid, because acid is used to make a lot of things in the game, such as medical syringes, but the most used item is to make tungsten into ingots, which is what I need to upgrade my weapons to max level, which I wanted to do before dealing with the last boss. And for day 42, I mainly stayed at base, but the most important thing I did was to set up pumps in the oil field next to my base, which was another way to farm for acid, as that was the main resource at the time, stopping me from progressing my armor and weapons. I then headed over to the workshop, which spawns around the map, where you basically use access cards found in rift anchors around the map, and you have to defend the machine to get items like premium fuel, acid, and stardust in return. So after setting up all the blockades I could afford setting up, it was time to try and defend it.
Ah, ain't it beautiful?
Alright, let's go.
Good job, Pyro. I don't know what's going on out back, but we gotta deal with this guy first. We just gotta hope that we're good out back.
Bro, you're not even a part of this. Go away.
The worst thing is, I don't even have time to deal with these guys. I need you to bug out and hit the ceiling or something. I think he hit the ceiling. Ooh, that did not hit the ceiling. So far so good. These guys... give me a second. That buys me time. Oh, you're inside. Fucking Thanos out here, bruh. Just die.
With the workshop successfully being defended, we only had 40 seconds left that went by quite flawlessly. It was then time to head back home and go to bed for the end of day 42. With this being a really good way of getting fuel, acid, and stardust, I chose to do it yet again, but I will keep it short this time. I hadn't done this yet and therefore had a lot of access card piled up from the gameplay, and therefore had the opportunity to get quite rich here. And with all the acid I had not farmed up, I went back to base and started making a bunch of tungsten ingots, which are used for making bullets, but also to max calibrate my weapons and armor. And before ending off day 44, I wanted to finally do some purifying, which is basically you find vessels inside of the silos, and I can purify them by doing a base defender for a lot of star crumb. And star crumb's a used resource for buying blueprints in the game, but it does have the risk of losing your base if you can't control and properly defend it.
They're only level 35. Loki gotta double check that they don't go to my base too. Let's just double check the base on this side. This is obviously basically done on easy mode, so it really ain't that bad. Yo, stop blowing up in my staircase, man. He just sent an umbrella at my base. That's gonna fuck up my base. No, it's not. It's too far. That umbrella can fuck my whole base up. It just actually makes a hole in your base. I'm not trolling. Y'all are laughing, but I ain't trolling. I don't know why it's so bugged. They're like not doing anything.
On day 45, I found myself in a silo I had forgotten to do earlier. So running in here on pro mode, I wasted no time, taking out every NPC that got in my way and slowly but surely making it to the Deviant boss. Once I had gotten there, I had to shoot all these energy sources with my electric gun to activate them and then fight it out with the boss himself. Now because this is a lower tier boss, it wasn't too difficult, but I did end up managing to get the Deviant from it. All that was remaining to do now was to fight it out with the actual boss of the silo. Mr. Major Dutch put up a good fight, but it wasn't going to stop me from finishing this silo as well. Now with all the silos being completed, weapons are fully calibrated, and every silo, every rift anchor and teleporter and journey has been completed before we even got to day 50. There was no wonder why I couldn't make this a 100-day survival video. But on day 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, whatever, we ended up fighting the Forsaken Giant, which is a very hard boss to fight, especially as a solo. But we were going to learn how to do its pattern slowly but surely and beat his ass.
Is there anything I can throw at him? I need one of these to throw at him. Nah, nothing to throw at him. Damn, that hurt really badly, I can't lie. He's gonna smack me. Yeah, Dino did fucking work on those guys. What you gonna do next? Oh, we're crying again. Okay, so we want him to break this one. We let him break this one and we're good. Run over here. Time to get the fuck out of here. Just die, just die, just die, just die. Thank you. Damn, bro. Nah, 3 strikes and it breaks. There we go. I didn't dodge. I don't know what happened in my head there. So what do I do against this now? We just lose health, right? Like, there just was nothing we could do against that. Is now we figured out? Unless there's a tech that we just don't know about. There might be a tech that we don't know about. There's nothing to throw at him, so I can't make him stop crying. He ain't crying yet, so we're good. Oh, Lord, that hurts. I didn't remember that hurting that much. Ooh, okay. There's nothing to throw, so I can't make him stop crying. I need him to give me something to make him stop crying. There we go. Well, he already stopped. Well, we might as well throw it still. Boom. Oh, there's minis. Let's figure out what he's... Didn't jump. Still good though. Still good though. Nothing we can do about this. Wow. Okay. Be more careful there. We almost got thrown off the edge. I think he's gonna cry now or some bullshit. No. Now he will though, right? There we go. No, he's not. Ow. He's throwing that thing at me though. No, he doesn't. He missed. Beautiful. Now he's gonna cry, but I have no more balls because I already wasted them. I already wasted the balls, man. Now he's done crying, so there's no point to waste them now. I need to stop getting hit by bullshits. I'm like low HP. I'm low HP. Oh, we're good. 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 Alright, he's gonna punch. We might as well get rid of these while we wait. Okay, not close to the edge this time, so we're okay. Reload, heal up. Make him stop crying like a little baby, if that's what he's gonna do. No. He's gonna throw those things at me, which hurts. Very good this time, though. Where are you gonna throw that? Straight center. Now I think he'll start crying. So we throw this in his face, make him stop crying, and shoot him. Empty the clip. Wait for him to cry more, like a little baby. No crying this time. He's gonna punch me in the face, though. Ooh. Close call. Close call. Can't lie. Maybe I can throw the balls to make him stop punching. I don't know. Like, there's got to be something we can do to make him not punch me, though. I have nothing to throw at him. I didn't dodge. Man, I suck. Keep messing that up. Oh god, I wasted my dino. I should have saved my dino What? Oh my god. Let me stop this. What are we doing here? We're making a lot of mistakes. We're making a lot of mistakes right now. We're making a lot of mistakes right now. I might die. Okay. Just need this guy to die fast. Okay, I guess we're fighting in the middle. We beat him too late. I guess we're fighting in the middle only. I guess we're only fighting in the middle. Any more flying things I should kill? Question mark. 1. Or if I'm making punch this one now, then that one doesn't break. If I'm making punch this, then nothing breaks. I just... Oh, okay, I got it. I should have dodged those. I just kept shooting. I'm dead. Okay. You need to cool down while I heal, bro. I need you to chill. Go cry or something, please. Okay, we're good. Okay, now we got this thing. Easily dodgeable, though. Even with one hand while I drink. Alright, we need to not get hit by this time. Make sure that thing doesn't hit us. Okay, there we go. Let that shit smack the fuck out of me. Reload my gun. Heal up. Okay. Hereby no more crit spots. So now we play hide and seek. While we do 5 damage to him per shot. And now we get smacked in the fucking face. Because I can't get away in time. Dodge all of that. Don't get hit by that. Where are you doing? What are we doing here? What are you gonna do next? Oh. Oh, he finally grabbed me. This have never happened. Never happened to me before. But hey, it's about time, I guess. Heal up. Reload while he does whatever he's doing. My kneecaps are broken. That means I can't run as fast because he actually broke my kneecaps. Like, he actually hurt my kneecaps. No joke. I can't run. Oh, we're good though. Damn, I didn't get it. No, I didn't. I'm tanking it. Tanking it for the extra damage. We're okay. Let's let Dino join in. Come on, Dino. Do some damage to this man. Yes, sir. Oh, why? Oh, I landed on Dino, so I didn't take damage. W Dino. W Dino. Dino's the GOAT. Alright, come on. Give me a crit spots. There we go. You're done. It's over. Now we got the Nutcracker. Kaboom. Now with that being finished, that sums up my story. I really do enjoy Once Human as a video game and it has a lot of potential. I do hope they add some more aspects to it and maybe open up even more regions because it does seem a little hollow and a little quick to finish. But if you made it this far into the video, through an entire hour and 10 minutes, you are a real champ and I love the support that you are showing me. If you did make it this far into the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below if you actually made it this far. I will see you guys next time. We have a lot of 100 days videos coming out real soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you then.